Yes, that's a big
34
problem.
talk to yourself, like ourselves, oh, what I promised, and then what we done. So actually we didn't do much, and also especially create so much negative part, not positive any create much. So then negative cause result is a suffering. That's why it's get heart attack. Wow, I did it wrong. So no, I really have to change. You know, that's it. I really have to change it today. Start. I know.
I thought it was more to do with aspiration because of where it was located, so that you can have put the effort.
Yeah, then you change it right now. Put effort, good direction. Right. So now you say I'm going to go to California, Dave, and actually I'm going to go back to other side, going to wrong directions. Then I say, wow, I have to stop here. I have to go back to other way. So put effort.
Yes. That's west, not east. Okay, I get it.
Actually, say I want to go to west, but actually I went to east.
Oops.
Yeah, east is like it's all then going to falling the hair. Oh, wow, I almost dead, almost get heart attack. Then turn right away back. Your car is going to west direction, not even back to east.
Time for a U-turn, right, Kempo?
Yeah,
Okay.
34. Okay, 35. Send up, please.
Likewise, I shall have to realize many excellent qualities for myself and others. And in order to attain each of these qualities alone, I may have to acquaint myself with its cause until an ocean of aeons is exhausted. So it's the same thing. There's lots of work to do. It's going to take a while.
Yes. So that's we are going to create positive qualities for us and for others. Each quality takes eons, but I'm not going to give up. You know, means like effort. So that means like we're not going to give away of Bodhisattva's life. So benefit our own, benefit others. Yeah. Okay, so then we go to 36. 36, EDG, please.
Okay. But I have never developed acquaintance with even a fraction of these excellences. How strange it is to squander the birth, or this birth I have found by some coincidence. Okay, so my note on this is, with this precious human birth, we need to develop good qualities, stop wasting time, transform the mind.
Exactly, yes. Great. Thank you, EDG. See, that's the first, actually, two sentences followed by the similar is 34. So then, no, this is just the last two sentences. See, we said, no, I have this coincidentally find my, you know, precious human body. I'm not going to waste this. Not easy to get. So far, I'm wasting. I didn't recognize so far. So no, I'm not going to waste. Yeah. Okay, so no 37. Tom was there, please.
Okay. I have not made offerings to the Lord Buddhas. I have not given the pleasure of great festivals. I have not performed actions for the teachings. I have not fulfilled the wishes of the poor. Again, the translator, how it came out is that, and I got this out of the previous three, that he's asking you to really analyze your own situation, and it's not necessarily good or bad, but to really see just where you are so you can make a start, so you can get a foothold in and make some progress. And I think that's what he's doing here again.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. Yes. So that just follow the same 36 verses, and so we didn't do much. Then now it's going to starting, but really low to ourselves is we don't did like offering to Buddhas. We didn't do much for benefit others. So that's always like talking about pointing our, what we done. So that means like we didn't do good job so far. Have to recognize that. Then so now I'm really going to do push hard. More going to aspiration, strong aspiration. Okay, so now next is Debbie A, please.
Okay. I have not granted fearlessness to the frightened, and I have not given happiness to the weak. All I have given rise to is the agonies of the mother's womb and to suffering. And it's very serious, but it's also kind of funny. He was taught by, and I think about that, he was taught by Manjushri, which means he had a tremendous amount of merit and a tremendous capability. But as he's writing, he only sees, that he's just done a little bit of good in the world. And we also need, I think, to see it that way as well, to look at everything needs to be done, look at the sufferings of everyone, look at how, we might be able to contribute to making samsara better one day. We should never focus, or not really focus on, the things we have done to benefit others, but see how much there is to be done, both as, an antidote to ego, and then just to remind yourself, again, going back to the first few, verses, that you can't just take it easy. You have this human life, you have to have a sense of urgency about it. And it's the thing I think is funny about it is, sometimes we feel like we're not making any good effect in the world. But I remember one thing I was able to do was to make my mother really uncomfortable when she was giving birth to me. So I think that is serious and funny at the same time.
Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, so see, that's is the agonious in the mother's womb and the soul suffering. That's good, your thing. You think so?
Well, it's not good, really, but it's real.
That means like actually we don't really use correctly this life useful.
Yeah, it was like the last time you made a mark on somebody was when
Only we just create suffering for mothers. This birth is suffering for mothers. Don't do anything other than that.
Well, and childhood is also making your mother suffer.
So we have to change it to create something good thing, so useful, otherwise like you just come in the world is create a suffering for mother.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Thanks.
So 39. Amanda, please, can you do 39?
Yes. Both now and in previous lives, such deprivation has arisen because of my lack of aspiring for the Dharma. Who would ever reject this aspiring for the Dharma? So we are born so many times in samsara because in previous lives we did not aspire to practice Dharma. This is why we're suffering in samsara. In previous lives I've rejected Dharma, so right now I'll make this life useful and never reject Dharma again. I will do my Dharma practice, is what I've written down. And I have a question about this one, Khenpo. Does this mean, is this the reason because we reject Dharma in previous lives, is that the reason why we're not born into Dharma families?
Not only that's the reason, just the born Dharma family, I think not born with the Dharma family, that's doesn't matter anyway. The main point is here is we are stuck in samsara.
Okay.
Yeah, not liberating. The why, the reason is because previous lifetime we didn't do the practice of Dharma. And we didn't have aspiration. That's the reason. So still we are in stuck samsara.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So now, Debbie, can you do please 40? Debbie B.
Debbie B, sure. Okay, 40. The Mighty One himself has said that aspiration is the root of every facet of virtue. Its root is constant acquaintance with the ripening effects of action. So here you talked about the power of aspiring again, and the aspiration of wanting to do good things. And when we want to do good things, then those qualities become what ripens. So it's the ripening effect of our actions. So when we want to do something well, we aspire to that, then the actions then will create that good quality. And you gave an example too about, well, you said also that we have to use create the effort for these to arise, for these good qualities to rise in the future. And then also that the good intentions are the result of wishing or aspiring. And it's just like when we practice the world peace prayer, when we have the aspiration for peace in the world, then naturally, then that will happen. That will be the action.
Thank you. Okay, so now next 41. David, where is Avura?
Elvira is sleeping, Khenpo.
Oh,
Yeah, she's a little sick.
I see.
Which one, Khenpo? 40, 41?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Physical pain, mental unhappiness, all the various kinds of fears, as well as separation from what is desired, or arise from a wholesome way of life. What you mentioned this morning, and I was, is that all this suffering is coming from our own negativity, but the opposite can happen if we think more positive and we do good deeds. We can be positive. If we perform actions that they are good deed, happiness is coming to us, and it's related with the karma laws, cause and effect. Whatever we produce is what we're going to take back.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Okay, so then 42, Lisa, please.
However, by committing wholesome actions which are motivated by aspiration in the mind, whenever I go, I shall be presented with tokens of the fruit of that merit. So this verse changes it to something more positive. And it's moving to a more positive way of practicing virtue.
Mm. Yes, so that's the just opposite side, or where is the 41, right?
Yes,
So do good things and like result is good.
yes.
Mhm. Wherever you go, so the result is like follow you. So now 43. The 43 is Justin, can you do the 43? Justin, can you hear or no? No, right? Okay, so then 80 the phone call. So if you can you do 80? Who's the phone call?
Hello, Rinpoche.
Ah,
Can
hello?
you hear? Hello,
Yes,
can you hear?
yes,
I'm supposed to do?
yeah. It's
Oh,
okay. You can do if you are just no comfortable. It's okay if you okay. So great to do.
I don't have the book open.
Okay,
So
so then just you can listening. Okay,
okay, thank you.
you're welcome. So now then go back to Mary, please.
Okay, so we are to 43, right?
Yeah.
By committing evil actions, although I may wish for happiness, wherever I go, I shall be completely overcome by weapons of pain caused by my evil life. Evil actions result in evil outcomes. That's what I wrote down.
Mm.
So
So then,
that's what I got. Just, you might want happiness, but you don't get it by doing evil actions.
right. So wanting happiness, but create causes of suffering, right?
Right.
Mm. So then, wherever you go, so like the ever actions never let go you because you get suffering.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So then we go to the 44. 44. Amanda, please, can you do 44?
Yes. As a result of virtue, I shall dwell in the spacious, fragrant, and cool heart of a lotus flower. My radiance will be nourished by the food of the conqueror's sweet speech. My glorious form will spring from a lotus unfolded by the mighty one's light. And as a bodhisattva, I shall abide in the presence of the conquerors. Well, that is so beautiful. Who creates virtuous deeds? The result is happiness. Good intentions and accumulating merit. When we die, if we do those things, we'll go to Dewa Chin. So I think this verse is about Dewa Chin's qualities. There's nothing negative in Dewa Chin, only positive conditions to learn and practice the Dharma. And it arises through our virtuous deeds.
Thank you. Can you do the next one? We can do 2 verses one by one person.
Sure. Yes.
The
Okay.
next one.
Okay. 45. But as a result of non-virtue, my skin will be ripped off by the henchmen of Yama, and this feeble liquid copper melted by tremendous heat will be poured into my body. Pierced by flaming swords and daggers, my flesh will be cut into 100 pieces, and I shall tumble upon the fiercely blazing iron ground. This is the opposite of 44. So this is hell realm suffering. And there are many different kinds of hell realm sufferings. And so where does this result come from? It comes from our own unvirtuous deeds. Just as Dewa Chin, the result of Dewa Chin comes from our own virtuous deeds.
Thank you. Next, Sandra, can you do the 46 and 47?
Therefore, I should aspire for virtue and with great respect acquaint myself with it, having undertaken the wholesome in the manner of Vajra, I should then proceed to acquaint myself with self-confidence. By increasing the aspiration to do good things, to increase your virtue, it's an antidote. That enthusiasm is the antidote to laziness. Undertaken the wholesome. And then that will result in greater stability in the mind, greater self-confidence to do what you need to do to maintain your enthusiasm, I guess, and to perform virtue. Do you want to say anything about that before I do 47?
I think you did a good job.
Okay. First of all, I should examine well what is to be done to see whether I can pursue it or cannot undertake it. If I am unable, it's best to leave it. But once I have started, I must not withdraw. So I wrote down that you should check your capacity, if you are able to take on a task or not, that you should finish what you start. I kind of heard you say, you're setting a pattern and it will carry into the next life. And so it's important to finish what you start. So for instance, you can practice that by either reading a whole book or at least to finish a chapter. If you start a chapter, then finish that chapter. Really important to, like, for instance, we're studying this book, we should finish this teaching. So that it applies to our actions and worldly things as well. And this way, if you take on a task and then you complete it, you will have success, but otherwise you won't be successful.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so then we go to 48. Let's go to EDG, please. 48, 47, 49, sorry, 48, 49, EDG.
All right. Okay. Okay. If I do, then this habit will continue in other lives, and the evil and misery will increase. Also, other actions done at the time of its fruition will be weak and will not be accomplished. What we're saying here is if you withdraw, I mean, if let's see, if I do, then this habit will continue in other lives. Okay. If I start and not finish, then that habit will continue into other lives. And as a result, evil and misery will increase.
Yes.
And that's all I can say there. Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. First one you did 48, yes.
Okay.
Followed by actually 47. So if I do, like we stop with no finishing, stop with no finishing, then these habits will continue in other life. So and the evil misery will increase. Then all these ways like become, habits create always like create incorrect things. So that bring the misery will increase our life, future lives. Yeah.
Okay, 49, self-confidence should be applied to wholesome actions. The overcoming of disturbing conceptions and my ability to do this, thinking I alone shall do it, is the self-confidence of action. And for me, this referred back to verse 31, talking about steadfastness. Once you start, you need to finish. And by starting and finishing, then you are performing wholesome actions. Let's see, what else did I say?
Yeah, so this section has actually kind of a more, the three different, like here we're talking about Khenpo Pong is like, we have a like aspiration and starting like 46 is like, confident and stable. Starting 46, so then that is like the stable is become divided three things in here in this verses 49. So this stable is become like self-confidence. Should it be applied to wholesome actions? That is confidence should the self-confidence, I think, one. Then also apply to wholesome actions. That's true. The overcoming of disturbing conception and my ability to do this So that's a three. They have a three different, you know, like layout. Then thinking I alone should do it. So is the self-confidence of action. So that is a self-confidence. What means the self-confidence? That's first one they explain. Thinking I alone should do it is the self-confidence. So now look, they have three different self-confidence should be applied to wholesome action. Second, third one is the overcoming of a disturbing conception and my ability to do this. So that three different layout. That is a part of the we have like four antidote, right? Four antidote. First one is like aspiring. Second one is called stable. Third one is what we have. Third one we have joy. The fourth one is like, you know, get rid of, right? Something needed to change or get rid of. The four different antidote. So we finished the first one, aspiring antidote. So then second antidote is a stable antidote is a starting verses 46. Then this stable antidote also here 49 is a layout three different sections.
Wow.
Okay, so now we go to the fourth.
I have a question on that.
Yes.
What popped in my mind with the statement, I alone shall do it. And then what popped into my mind is how does the Sangha relate to this?
Yeah, the Sangha related is the, you know, that's nothing like against anything, because like that means like the Buddha, like, you know, whatever do something is I'm going to do is with Sangha or without a Sangha, you know. Right? We're not going to give up anyway, like benefit ourselves and benefit others.
Well, sometimes it's nice to consult with the Sangha, it seems.
Yes, yeah. You can do with the Sangha, without the Sangha anyway. So this is like our kind of a confident. I'm not going to give up, you know.
Determination, okay.
Yeah, even no one come with me, I'm going to do.
Gotcha.
I'm not relying on anyone because I have to know what I have to do, right?
Sometimes it's nice to rely on the Sangha to assist, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that means that just have confidence.
All right.
Right. So you can have like many people in your car, but you have confidence you can drive without these other people out there. Yeah. So I can drive. If these people is sit with me, it's okay, but I can help them to drive. Right. You have confidence. You have no relying on drive for others. You can drive. Still, you be with others together. Okay, so like example, we're going to somewhere vacations, and you have so many people coming together vacation, but you have buy your ticket, right? You say, okay, I'm going to pay my expenses, even I'm not going to rely on. Also, I wanted to help anyone cannot pay, so I can help them too. So that kind of, you know, not only yourself going somewhere, but you have coming people together, but you not relying on means, oh, please buy my ticket and my hotel rooms, like that, right? Others rely on. Make sense?
Yeah, except I don't mind buying extra tickets, you know.
Yes, you can say, okay, I can afford my ticket and I can afford my hotel rooms. Okay, I can afford the you know, my expenses. Also, I can help others, like that kind of, you know, confident.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now here is like we see layout three things, like 49. So the first one is already explained there. What means this, you know, the self-confidence means. Self-confidence means like I alone shall do it. I'm going to do it. It's the self-confidence of action, yeah? So now the second one is like explained in the verses 50 and 51. So that's explained in the here the wholesome action, the overcoming. So I think this wholesome action overcoming is 50 and 51. 10 was, can you do that two together?
Okay. Was that 50 and 51, did you say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Powerless, their minds disturbed, people in this world are unable to benefit themselves. Therefore, I shall do it for them, since unlike me, these beings are incapable. Even if others are doing inferior tasks, why should I sit here doing nothing? I do not do those tasks because of self-importance. It would be best for me to have no such pride. Going back to the last one and bringing it into these two, having such single-minded confidence that you can really benefit people, even if they're incapable of benefiting themselves, is a great mindset or a virtue, and it shows a lot of patience and discipline. And why should I sit here doing nothing? So it's pointless not to try. And I'll just add my own little piece to it. The worst that could possibly happen by attempting to do it is one could die. And that's really nothing much to worry about there, because it's going to happen regardless. So there's really no downside to being that confident and knowing just realizing you're capable of taking on the task.
Yeah, thank you. See, this 49 verses, so we already self-confidence and already explained that what means self-confidence. Then wholesome action, the overcoming of disturbing conception. So this is the second one. So that means like we have self-confidence, right? Then this overcoming of disturbing conceptions, many has these problems. And we have ourselves have self-confidence to do our self-ability we have, and also we can help for others. So now we go back to the example, like we're talking with the ADG. So we can afford our own expenses. We have confidence that. Then also we look to others that don't have that qualities, our companies. So then we can help them still. Not only our can afford our expenses, we can afford these others' expenses too. Why I'm not going to do that? I'm going to do that. So the reasons other didn't have ability because they have the verses 49, the overcoming of disturbing conceptions. So that's the reason they don't have this ability 50 and 51, right? So we have this can help for we have the ability to help can help for them. So that's two things there, see. And first one is self-confidence. It's the confidence should be applied for some action. Second one is like the overcoming of disturbing conception. And then no is my ability to do this thinking. So that is the core is 42, 52 and 53. So can you Debbie B, can you do that 52 and 53?
Sure. 52, when crows encounter a dying snake, they will act as though they were eagles. Likewise, if my self-confidence is weak, I shall be injured by the slightest downfall. And I have written here that this was defining pride. So if we don't have confidence and our mind isn't strong and stable, he's giving an example that like a crow, they would usually be very afraid of a snake, but when the snake is dead, then the crow has no fear. So that way, then if our mind is not strong and stable, then that's this being unstable is like a dead snake, and the smallest negativity will destroy our mind. So that was 52. Is there anything to add before I go to 53?
Yeah, thank you. You did it perfect. Then go to 53.
Okay. How can those who, out of faint-heartedness, have given up trying, find liberation because of this deficiency? But even the greatest obstacle will find it hard to overcome. One with self-confidence who is developing exertion. And the first two sentences are kind of the problem. There is no confidence. But then the second two describe that if we have effort and enthusiasm, then we will find liberation even to remove the greatest obstacle. We can remove the greatest obstacle, the strongest negativity, if we have that, develop that self-confidence and that enthusiastic effort.
Yeah, so that's thank you very much. So that's the third one, still kept going, you know. We have the third one is layout from the 49. Thinking I alone shall do it. So that part is kept going again, more detail. 40, 50, 54, 55. David, can you do the 54 and the 55?
Sure. No problem. Therefore, with a steady mind, I shall overcome all falls. For if I am defeated by a fall, my wish to vanquish the three realms will become a joke. And actually, I like this section because overcoming negativity or not, you know, self-confidence is, I mean, I certainly feel it's kind of difficult because, you know, we're working at this so long and we only see, you know, our weaknesses. I only see my weaknesses. And it's a nice sort of reminder, but also like shaking me really hard, that if I get cut down by small things, if I get overtaken by emotion and I don't try to stop it next time, you know, how am I going to help all the beings of all the realms if I can be, you know, if I can be easily discouraged? Because I think that's a really good point. It is easy, can be easy to be discouraged, and we feel like we're really not growing that fast. So I like this one. And then the next is, I will conquer everything, and nothing at all shall conquer me. I, a daughter of the lion-like conqueror, should remain self-confident in this way. And I like that reminder that we do feel so small and weak and inadequate. But no, we're a child of the Buddhas. That's what we really are. And we just have to trust in ourselves and have compassion for ourselves that we can actually do it. So that's what I thought.
Thank you, Debbie. So everyone okay, that one, right? 54, 55. Okay. So now we go to the 56. 56. Amanda, can you do the 56?
Yes. Whoever has self-importance is destroyed by it. He is disturbed and has no self-confidence. For those with self-confidence do not succumb to power of the enemy, whereas the former are under the sway of the enemy of self-importance. So I think this is talking about positive self-confidence versus negative self-confidence. So emotional pride destroys us. We have to destroy our emotion pride. So those with emotions, they have no self-confidence. And ones with positive self-confidence and a stable mind, they do not succumb to the power of the enemy, which is their emotions. They don't let emotions control them. So the main point is talking about positive and negative self-confidence. And as long as we have positive self-confidence, we can overcome the negative self-confidence.
Thank you. Can you do 57 too?
Oh, yes, thank you. Inflated by the disturbing conception of my self-importance, I shall be led by it to the lower realms. It destroys the joyous festival of being human. I shall become a slave, eating the food of others. So this negative self-confidence, the emotions lead us to the lower realms. It destroys all of human beings' joy. And the result of this is like a slave begging for leftovers, because I have let negative pride destroy this life and future lives' happiness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So no, that means just that the main point is we have to create the confident, right? Self-confident is positive one. Yeah.
Khenpo, would it be correct to say self-importance is saying that your ego is what is important, but self-confidence is a belief in your correct actions is what is important?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Self-importance is like only I am the best, I am the good.
It's your ego.
Ego, yeah. So self-confidence is like you can do something, you really knows what you can do. So you can think, oh, I can do this practice, right? I can come to over the negativity. So now we go to the 58, David 58 and 59.
Okay, Khenpo, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Stupid, ugly, feeble, and everyone disrespected, though people bloated by consent, and also counted among the self-important. Tell me, what is more pathetic than this? What it is that our ego pride going to destroy our life, our future life. The results was not going to be good for us. Self-important is not a good quality.
Right.
And 59 is the opposite. Whatever size self-confidence in order to conquer the enemy of self-importance. It is the self-confident one, the victorious hero. And in addition, whatever definitely conquers the spread of this enemy, self-importance, completely wins the fruit of a conquer, fully fulfilling the wishes of the world. We need the self-confidence to overcome the negativity of the self-important, and it's the way to conquer that. We can be Buddha and benefit others using our self-confidence.
Right, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, everyone go to that, right? Lots of words, but it's just one, like me importance. We know this, the self, self-important or self-confidence. Then we understand what talking about whole thing. Then 60 and 61, Lisa, please, can you do?
Yes. If I find myself amidst a crowd of disturbing conceptions, I shall endure them in 1,000 ways, like a lion among foxes. I will not be affected by this disturbing host. So it goes with the next verse to it just being vigilant and determined to not let disturbing conceptions control your life, your mind. Don't know what else to say about that. When 61 goes with it, just as men will guard their eyes when great danger and turmoil occur, likewise, I shall never be swayed by the disturbances within my mind, even at times of great strife. So just as we always guard our eyes in the face of harm coming our way, we have to take care of our mind with the same vigilance, the same quickness, the same not waiting till next week, doing it right now.
Thank you, Lisa. Everyone okay, that one? Yeah. Okay, so then we go to the 62, 63. Navinati, can you do the 62?
Hi, Khenpo, I'm sorry, I'm driving.
Oh. Oh, Mary.
Okay, don't do it while you're driving. Okay, it would be better for me to be burned, to have my head cut off and be killed rather than ever bowing down to those ever-present disturbing conceptions. So likewise, in all situations, I should do nothing other than what is fit. So it's sort of a continuation of 61 where you guard your eyes. Well, it's better to continue on your doing the right thing, doing what is fit, then you might as well, you have to do that. It's better to do that than to do anything else. Right?
Right.
It'd be better if you were burned or killed if you don't do it, right?
Right.
So don't bow down to your disturbing conceptions is what the message is there.
Yeah, so that's change the section again, then starting there. So we finish it there. It's like stable, what we said, the stable enter dot, right? Stable enter dot. Then stable enter dot after the layout, the three different sections inside there.
Right.
So we finish it there. Stable, enter dot is it's like enter dot is third enter dot. Third enter dot is like joy, like joy, kind of a power of joy or joy. Joy, just joy. Enter dot joy.
Yes. And that one is 63. Just like those who yearn for the fruits of play, a bodhisattva is attracted to whatever task he may do. He never has enough. It only brings him joy. So it has its own power. Joy has its own power. You're happy to do the things. You're joyful in bringing about well-being to others. You're joyful about gathering methods, and this sort of snowballs itself into more joy so that you're always happy to do it. That's the power of it. It creates a desire to do more of it.
Yes. Okay. Positive, okay? When like we do some desired things that have so much joy to do, that's not good result there, but this one has a good result. Don't give up joy.
Could I add one thing, Khenpo?
Yes.
I think over the last several of these, it would be good to, like what you're saying here is understand that it's a labor of love is what we're really talking about. So there isn't really any room for egotism or pride or self-satisfaction in that sense. So, because by that definition, it kind of cuts away all the bad aspects of partly what he was trying to get at before, if you keep that in mind, that it's a labor of love. So by its very nature, what we're trying to attempt only has good qualities to it. So that's
Okay. Thank you, Tom. Was there? So then, Tom, can you do the 64, 65 together?
although people work in order to be happy, it is uncertain whether or not they will find it. But how can those whose work itself is joy find happiness unless they do it? If I feel that I never have enough sensual objects, which are like honey smeared upon a razor's edge, then why should I ever feel that I have enough merit which ripens in happiness and peace? I can only explain it in some other way, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, I would just have to explain it from some other angle, but I don't think it would do much good.
Okay.
I'll just leave it there, unless I'll just leave it up to you.
Okay. So for 64, the first two sentences is just, worldly people does things, but no uncertainty bring the joy, right? So that's the worldly, like, work hard, whatever we do, or it's uncertainty bring the joy. Then second verses, third verses, fourth verses, it's like Bodhisattvas. Work is it itself is joy, find happiness unless they do it. Then the Bodhisattva's job means like spiritual, actually they create like something, spiritual Dharma practice is that bring the joy if you, long as you do it. If you don't do, then no result. Long as you do, they have always good. Yeah. Now 65. So then just the same is like, the 63, like some have strong desires, create something, do something through the desire, but it's a very danger. So you try to get honey from the razors, use your tongue. It's danger, right? Can be cut your tongue. So like that, worldly desire is like the surface is great, but deeper is suffering. It's like that. And then why should I ever fear that I have enough? Mary which wrapping in happiness and peace. So then why we something bring really joy, peace and happy? Why we don't have like enough, why should I ever fear that I have enough merit? Means we have to do, must have to have effort to do that, because bring good result. Yeah. Okay, so now we go to 66. Curtis, please, can you do the 66?
Yes, sir. Very happily.
Are you here this morning?
Excuse me?
Are you in this morning in the teaching?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so then
It's really great. This I feel like a light bulb went off for me in a lot of ways. Very important teaching for me. 66. Thus, in order to complete this task, I shall venture into it just as an elephant tormented by the midday sun plunges into a cool, refreshing lake. Boy, what a nice description of happiness. To begin work, to go about your day's work with the happiness of an elephant plunging into a refreshing pool. That's cool.
Okay.
I can't top that.
Okay. Then you can do 67 too.
Oh, sure.
The
When my
change
strength-
subject, change the subject. You have to know that they're going to change the subject.
Okay, thanks for the heads up.
Yeah.
67. When my strength declines, I should leave whatever I am doing in order to be able to continue with it later. Having done something well, I should put it aside with the wish to accomplish what will follow. I kind of scratch my head about this.
Yeah, yesterday the thing about the rest is what is the rest means?
Yes, that's thank you. That makes sense. You know, it's describing how important it is to rest and to pace yourself. Because even if you really like your work,
Rest is like get red out, right? Get red out.
what's that?
Rest means yesterday we have the talking about the 4 antidote. The last one is the rest. R-E-S-T something, right?
Yes.
R-E-S-T. What means R-E-S-T?
Well, it means to not just, even if you like your work and you find great joy in it, it's still important to take some time to rest, to refresh yourself.
Oh, no, not that way. I think it's the word is a different meaning. Lisa knows.
Letting go.
Okay, so that's it. Letting go.
Giving it a rest.
This is called letting go, power of letting go. Actually, antidote of letting go. Okay, so now go ahead.
Well, that's more important. Either way, if you work too hard, you don't get the rest you need. And if you don't give it a rest, if you don't take a pause away from it, you don't pace yourself properly.
Okay.
It's important to let it go.
Okay.
So this is great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this to every workaholic I know.
Okay, so you're going to explain these words of 67?
Well, I think that's my explanation, that it's about letting go of things. It's important to let go from time to time so that you don't just always work hard as a bodhisattva. Even bodhisattvas need to have a little pause so that they don't get too attached to the work.
Okay. Yeah, your explaining is great, but this one is the main point is like when my strength declines, means like when you really practicing Dharma and you get sick.
Oh, yeah.
And then you okay, just don't try to finish your accumulation, maybe like something like 100,000 post stations or 100,000 mandalas. Go to see the doctor.
I'm so relieved to hear that. I'll do it tomorrow, Khenpo.
So that was means when my strength decline. If you physically get problem, then you take break. You know, I should leave whatever I am doing. Then also you get like when you practicing Dharma and maybe you are in the retreat, you finish your food, you know, then you can take break because you have to go to get this or conditions what you need. You know, the condition need support for your practice. If you condition is not there, then take the break, or you know, you don't do that. If you do that, no conditions, you do that, then that cannot be successful. So that's the
Yes.
in order to be able to continue with it later. So or you can just stop that. You see something incorrect, or you can just some is like stop and you can do continue again after when condition comes. Having done something well, so I should put it aside with the wish to accomplish that will follow. Okay, so that's that. So now we finish it. This is like all that 4 antidote practice, 4 different antidote practice for the opposite of the enthusiasm. So which 4? Do you remember, Sandra?
Aspiring,
Okay.
stable mind,
Yes.
joy,
Yes.
and letting go.
Okay, so that's it. That 4 finish. So now we have a stable has many different, 3 different layout there. Do you remember, Mary?
You got to unmute, Mary.
Mary is looking, finding the information. I can see.
No, I can't do it.
Okay.
Is stability, the self-confidence, wholesome actions, and overcoming disturbing conceptions?
Yes.
Okay,
This
maybe
first
I do know.
self-confidence, right? Confidence should be applied, right? That's the first one.
Right,
Uh,
right.
Then
To wholesome
apply
action.
wholesome action. Okay, got that together. So that is like we create that. Then the overcoming of disturbing conceptions and my ability to do this. So that's the second. So thinking I alone shall do it is the third, right? Do you remember that? So the main point is that the first one is like we have we already give an example when EDJ has questions that I can afford, right? Have to confident for that. Whatever we do, like expenses, we talk to that example. Second is like some people cannot do that. I can help them, yeah. And the third is like we create as a nip ngajar temba is like we it's likewise if my self-confidence weak then get problem. That's why I create more self-confident. So the example is we have a crow encounter a dying snake, starting from there. So that 3 things, lay out there. Okay, so now we're going to change the subject here, 68. The starting 68, talking about the 2 powers. So first one is power of antidote, create the power of antidote. Second one is the power of what is it called? The power of actually is power of strength. Power of strength. So they have
it had control.
Yeah, power of control or power of strength, right? The first one is like power of going to create the power of antidote. So now we go to 60. At 69. Yimpian, so can you do that 2 together? Lisa?
Oh, 68, 69.
Yes.
Just as an old warrior approaches the swords of an enemy upon the battlefront, so shall I avoid the weapons of the disturbing conceptions and skillfully bind this enemy. If someone dropped his sword during a battle, he would immediately pick it up out of fear. Likewise, if I lose the weapon of mindfulness, I should quickly retrieve it, being afraid of hell. So you have to adopt an antidote and know what they are and adopt them before you go into battle. And the weapon of mindfulness, it applies to what we were learning in the chapter on mindful introspection. And I don't really know how else to talk about the two powers. You have to have a firm antidote. It has to be very powerful, otherwise it doesn't work. I think you have to really understand it. And I don't really understand it quite well, the way it is in this chapter yet. I'll have to study it more. But I think it all comes down to the four things you said, but I don't really have a good feel for how to apply all of them. Except I think they're all important.
So that's it. The power of antidote creating, like, create a mindful, right?
Yes.
So that is the power, like not let emotion arise. So we really have to fight with the emotion. So the need mindful. Otherwise, you lose mindful, you emotion overcomes, like destroy life, future life especially, yeah? Of course, this life and the future life. Okay, the main point, we have to create our mindful alertness. If you lose that, you right away, you try to beg again. So now we go to 70, 71. It's very similar, just this all is going together. It's EDG, can you do the 70 and the 71?
Sure. Just as poison spreads throughout the body, in dependence upon the circulation of blood, likewise, if a disturbing conception finds an opportunity, unwholesomeness will permeate my mind. Should I read both of them and then go back? Is that the way?
Which is it for you? You can do either way, whatever easy for you.
Okay. Okay, so 69. 69. Oh, 70.
70, yeah.
It's really relates to 69 when it's disturbing emotions or when you let them take control, they're like poison. It affects the whole mind. It affects the whole process.
Yes.
Okay, so and then 70, 71. Huh?
Yes, 71.
Okay, those who practice should be attentive as a frightened man carrying a jar full of mustard oil who is being threatened by someone with a sword, that he will be killed if he spills just one drop. This is where what I wrote down is you keep single pointed, really focus on, be mindful with your mind and your actions.
Right.
That's all I can say.
Okay, thank you. You did a great job. Yeah. So the 79, 71 is just more, it's a, example. So just like, we have to really careful watching our, use the mindful alertness, any emotion is arising or not. So have to get, when emotion comes, really fear, losing the life, the same as losing the life. Okay, so now we go to 72 and 73. Debbie, can you do the two together? Debbie B?
Sure. 72 is just as I would swiftly stand up if a snake came into my lap. Likewise, if any sleep or laziness occur, I shall quickly turn them back. So this is very good. I would do this. So it's like that with practice. When something negative comes up, we should really jump up and stop. Just get rid of. Just like that snake, just get away quickly, hurry, fast. So that's 72. Is there anything else with that one?
Good, thank you.
Okay, and then 73, each time something unwholesome occurs, I should criticize myself and then contemplate for a long time that I shall never let this happen again. Well, yeah, I need to read. I need to read. What's that, Khenpo?
I heard you from you say I shouldn't do that.
I know. I need to read this a lot. So I did want to make one, they say I should criticize myself, and that is kind of a tricky word in our Western culture because that's just a tricky word. I wrote in my mind, I said contemplate, because I don't want to put myself down. I would still want to have that self-confidence and that pride. And I'm in a human form and I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, but I really need to be mindful and alert to contemplate that I did. But that's just a side note. But so we need to think about this. And when negative comes up, we need to catch it ourselves and we need to get rid of it. And why the negative motion comes up and never let it happen again. And I really need to do this a lot.
This actually really the follow the just people how to receiving. I mean the criticize myself.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. That makes more sense now. Thank you.
Shantideva actually he didn't criticize he said he reduced ego. Like when he's starting this teaching, he said, I don't know. Do you remember the beginning of the way of Bodhisattva?
I do. Yes, I remember.
He said I didn't have something special, anything, I don't like poetry writer and I don't have good anything, but I just share something, right? That's really beautiful words. I don't remember do you remember, Sandra? Are you sure?
It just reminds me of Garchi Rinpoche, or maybe all of you special teachers who are very humble and say things like this before a teaching. Often there's some words like that,
So what I heard says, Shantideva says, there is nothing here that has not been explained before. And I have no skill in the art of rhetoric or
Rhetoric.
Yeah, rhetoric. Therefore, lacking any intention to benefit others, I write this in order to incontinent it to my mind.
Yeah.
So that is the beginning he wrote.
Okay, so that's more what he's talking about with criticize then, not getting down on yourself.
Similar,
Similar, okay.
Just criticize means like we say, oh, I did it wrong. You have to recognize, you remind, right? Oh,
Sure.
I'm a bit wrong. I'm not going to do again. You not blame yourself. I'm bad. Like losing your confidence, right?
Right. Great. Thank you, Khenpo. That was the perfect verse for me. Thank you.
The word could be critique. The word could also be critique.
74 is the Tom Wazer, please. So now we go to 74.
Okay. Likewise, in all these situations, I shall acquaint myself with mindfulness. With this motivation as a cause, I shall aspire to meet with teachers or accomplish the tasks they assign me. Well, mindfulness is probably the heart of the practice. So we should always be acquainting ourselves with mindfulness in that sense. And with this motivation as a cause, I shall aspire. So you're aspiring then to meet with teachers who have accomplished the path already in order to take you to enlightenment, basically, or accomplish the task they assign to me. So you have somebody that's willing to teach you based on their experience. So there would be no point in trying to do it alone. And then, is that okay for 74?
Yes, you did a good job. Thank you.
75, in order to have strength for everything, I should recall before undertaking any action the advice in the chapter on conscientiousness and then joyfully rise to the task. I can't think of anything else to really say about that one.
Okay. So 75, then David, can you explain 75?
Okay, Khenpo.
Oh.
In order to have the strength for everything, I should recall before undertaking any action, the advice in the chapter on consciousness, and then joyfully rise to the task. What you mentioned this morning in the 75, before practicing the six parameters, you should have the strength for everything. Use the advice of the chapter 4, consciousness, and then the joy going to rise. It's like start to combine the different teachings that we receive, and we had to do this to check what we are doing. That was my understanding. It's to increase your strength to do everything and connect the different things, the consciousness and the joy going to rise.
Okay, thank you.
No problem, Khenpo.
Yeah, 74 is just likewise in all these situations, we share encountering myself with my mindfulness. Using mindfulness, like meditate for thoughts, meditate love, compassion, Bodhisattva, all this practicing, is put and together, then it's become, accomplished. So we have to use all the practicing. Then 77 is whatever we do, first we have to check. So also we have to recognize we have strength or not. So this is the 75 is change the subject is there. So this is the power of power of stable, or power of, we can say, strength, power of strength and stable. So that's why it's like we have to first recognize like our practice, like 6 parameter, is we can do or not. So then we do that, is we must have to have a strength to everything, should recall before undertake any action. So before this practicing, check. Yeah, theta payu tamting the danik dangwa yangwarsa. So then advice in the chapter. So we have to mindful, alert in this chapter, use that, and then go to practicing these 6 parameter, put effort and joy, enthusiasm. Okay, so then we go to the 76, last one. So last one is Mary, you started first, so also you do the last one too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just as the wind blowing back and forth controls the movement of a piece of cotton, so shall I be controlled by joy, and in this way accomplish everything. So because of your antidotes and your strength, etc., the only thing that really is controlling you is the joy of accomplishing merit in helping others. Is that right?
Can you say
Joy is what moves you through life. Your joy in your effort is what moves you through your life.
Right. Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah. So just as the wind blowing back and forth to control the movement of the pieces of cotton, wind have a part. The wind has a power, right? The wind can control this, movement of the pieces of cotton. So here I be controlled by joy in this way, completely everything. Same is like with joy. Yeah, it's enthusiasm, controlled situation, and then we can completion. That is the finish chapter. Sancho Semper Juba Lan Yupa Le Zudi Temba Shisawa Level Demba then Sancho Semper way of Bodhisattva is enthusiasm chapter 7. Finish. Thank you. Okay, so this morning I get a little bit distraction, so that time is like this is in there have lots of details inside there, like kind of like each one has branches coming. I didn't recognize that correctly. So, okay.
It was great, Khenpo, and it's really good. It gave us a chance to contemplate and put the pieces together tonight. So I thought it was really great.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. This chapter is great. All the chapters are so profound. But I want to say I'm really looking forward to chapter 8 with you because you're such a good teacher of meditation. And the chapter is so amazing to me, chapter 8. I think I'm really looking forward to your teaching on that. And it's such a long chapter. I think we'll be doing it 2 weekends. So if we can really get that chapter, I think we can get chapter 9.
Yeah, chapter, I think it takes like longer, right?
Yeah, chapter 8 is really long.
I think it's a chapter 8 has verses 187.
Yeah, it's in 2 weekends, I think. So we'll be all ready for chapter 9. We can get them.
Yeah, 187 means like more twice than this, like twice, still more other one.
Yes.
So that means like almost 2 weeks, not possible finish. Not like take 3 weeks, other one, that chapter.
I have a question. I don't know if it matters, but it sure does feel like all of Tibetan Buddhism comes from this text. It sure does feel like it. Everything kind of comes from this.
So you mean way of Bodhisattva?
Yes.
Yeah, actually all this Mahayana teaching is come from in this text.
Yeah, it just feels when I study.
Like study, example, we're going to study Dharma in the Sheda, so it's always like just this like branches. Then especially this chapter 9 is all is philosophy.
Yes.
So that takes like years of study. And then so usually we Sheda in not much teaching this other like Yadam deities practice like this kind, So all is focused in the chapter 9 and they based on this way of Bodhisattva's other chapters.
Yes.
Okay, thank you everyone. So now we're going to do the dedication. Is Amanda, can you share?
Yes.
You share and you read, please.
Will you, let's see, do you mind enabling screen share, please?
Debbie, can you?
I'm sorry, it's me tonight. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm just going to make you host, Amanda. You're in charge now.
Namaho. In the center is the marvelous Buddha Amitabha, boundless light. On the right side is the Lord of great compassion, and on the left is Vajrapani, the Lord of powerful means. All are surrounded by limitless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Immeasurable peace and happiness is the blissful pure land of Dewa-Chen. When I and all beings pass from samsara, may we be born there without taking samsaric rebirth. May I have the blessing of meeting Amitabha face to face. By the power of the blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, may we attain this aspiration without hindrance. Teyata Pinsatriya Bodhanaya Soha. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind. Where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. By this virtue, may I achieve omniscience. By defeating all enemies, confusion. May all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. As Manjushri, the warrior, realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantabhadra, I will follow in their path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. May the teachings of the great Trigompa Ratnashri, who is omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
See you tomorrow. Have a good evening.
Okay.
Sandra, you take rest, okay?
Yes.
Sweet dreams.
Bye.
See everybody tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow.